Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. In this video, I had a small interview with Sandy Munro, and most of you know who Sandy Munro is, and he does not need an introduction. But for the few of you that may not know who he is, he runs a company called Munro and Associates. He's been involved in the automotive industry for about 50 years, and he worked with Ford and was instrumental in helping them develop the Taurus. And then he started his own company, Munro and Associates, and he worked with GM and BMW and many other companies over the years. And a lot of you may know him because he has a YouTube channel called Munro Live, where he takes apart lots of EVs and other vehicles. And he is a very well respected person in the field of manufacturing and knows about how to make manufacturing processes work well and be cost efficient and make them efficient, and how to design products that are easy to build and higher quality. So the main reason that people like him is they see Sandy as a straight shooter, and he kind of tells it as it is. And he was brought in early by Chris Anthony and Steve Fambro early on in the design of Aptera, because when they started to relaunch the company, they realized, it does no good to make a car that's great but is difficult or impossible to manufacture well. So they got Sandy Munro on board at the very beginning on the ground floor, and Sandy has been an investor and a consultant for Aptera from the very beginning. And he's very bullish on Aptera, as you will see.
For investment, and there's people just think that Detroit's got a bunch of guys with blue uniforms on that put nuts and bolts together, but there's quite a number of millionaires and billionaires there. So I've recommended that when this, because it started like yesterday or the day before, I can't remember when you could start investing in that thing again. So some of my guys are already.
Have you convinced some people to do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be.
And you're personally into it too.
I am quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you went in fairly early.
80 cents.
Okay. Yeah.
And now it's 10.50.
Yeah.
The big multiplier.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with it. I've got like I said, you couldn't do anything until just recently. So when I get back, hopefully some of the 20 million I think they're asking for in this round, hopefully some of it's still left by the time I get a chance to
you're thinking
get
about
back to Detroit.
You're thinking about putting more in.
Yes, I am going to put more in, but I'm talking about the other guys that I got.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, that's the hard part for any startup, is getting the capital to make it to production.
That's the lifeblood of product development is money.
Yeah.
Mother's milk. Yeah.
Right.
So, and it costs quite a bit. So these guys have been doing it on the cheap, but I think they're going to have about another 500 or 600 million to get things rolling, and then if they want to hit this kind of scale that I've given them this way as a chart or whatever, that'll probably bring them up to $1 billion. So a normal car costs about $5 billion from the day that somebody says, I got an idea, till first customer ship. But this is a little less expensive, which means that the stock should go up faster, and there'll be a whole lot less of the problems because the body is one piece. Remember that stuff I said about Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Okay, that body's one piece. That hatch in the back is one piece. The cavity in the front is going to be bolted down. It's one piece. The doors are one piece. That means you're going to get a perfect build right first time. I mean, that's why I'm investing in it. And then I've got my best two guys who've developed a line for that so that it has a flexible break-even point. And they're made on AGVs, automatic guided vehicles.
Right.
So, I mean, if I need to make 2 a day, I can do that. And if I need to make 300 a day, I can do that too.
So you're thinking they're going to need like 500 million to make it to volume production, or just to make it to production at all?
500 million would be about where I think it should be for a good volume,
Okay.
good volume production.
Yeah.
But if you really want to hit, like I think they should be making about, I don't know, 300,000 of those a year.
Uh-huh.
And to hit that, they're going to need another big cash infusion.
So this is like years down the line.
I'm saying something like 2-3 years
Okay.
after launch. So this is going to launch in 18 months or 2 years,
Uh-huh.
something like that. And 2 or 3 years after that, I believe that they should be able to hit at least a couple of 100,000 a year.
Right. Right. And you feel like the way that this thing is built is significantly easier than a traditional
Yes.
automobile?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because all I got to do is take I get 5 parts. That's
Uh-huh.
it. I'm done. 5 parts, glue them or bolt them together a little bit, and away you go.
And you got in with them right at the beginning. Chris was saying
Yeah.
that they kind of contacted you
2018, you did, and then
before
they brought
they
me
even
down,
relaunched it.
fed me a couple of what do you call them, pizzas, and I wrote a check. I'm not shitting you. That's the truth.
Like
They
right
showed
from
me
the
some
beginning,
pictures
you're like,
and-
I'm sold.
Yeah, because I don't know if you were here for when the unveiling happened, but what I said, I truly believe. When we pulled that thing off, this is turning silver into gold. So you can throw in a nickel, but you're going to get a gold coin at the end of the day. That's when we pulled it off. And I said, this is iconic. This is the iconic symbol for the electric world. So you had the Model T. You don't have to say Ford.
Yeah.
You've got the Beetle. You
Yeah.
don't have to say VW.
Yeah.
And you've got the Mini.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what a Mini. This is going to be the same thing. Aptera will be a standalone name. That's it.
Yep. I mean, I certainly think so. So.
What's that?
I mean, I certainly think so.
Yeah, so do I. I'm pretty bullish.
Yeah.
You may have heard that.
No, it's good to hear, because I think you're an extremely well-respected name in the industry, and so you backing it, I think, gives a lot of people confidence in it.
So if Mr. Monroe is watching this, first of all, I want to apologize because I think he, as you can imagine, he was busy. There was tons of people around him all the time, and so I was just kind of hanging out, listening to him answer questions. And then when an opening opened up, I started asking him questions without really introducing myself. So um, I hope that he was not taken aback by that. But anyway, he was very gracious, answered all my questions, and it was really a pleasure to listen to his answers to our questions. And I think he had a lot of good things to say, and some things that may be surprising to us. Like one of the first things he said was that he thinks that Aptera is going to need like $500 million or more to make it up to volume production. And I think he's not talking about now, but as he clarified, it's a couple of years down the line when he thinks they should ramp up to making like 300,000 vehicles a year, which is big. So he has big plans for them, and he's thinking that they're going to be a major player in the transportation industry. And then the other thing he said that may be surprising to some people, but wasn't that surprising to me personally, was that he thinks that it'll launch in 18 months to 2 years from now. That is quite a bit longer time frame than is the official time frame, but I think that's a more realistic time frame. Maybe he's being a little bit pessimistic. I'm hoping that it'll be like within a year, but I think that the timeline of having cars delivered within 6 months is uh, fairly optimistic and maybe unrealistic. So maybe they'll launch a few vehicles, but I think his time frame of 18 months is uh, definitely a more pragmatic timeline. But what's also very clear is that he's very bullish on the investing side of it, and he's put a lot of his own money into it, and he, in his own words, quite a bit. And he's recommending the investment to many of his friends in Detroit and otherwise. So that shows that he has a lot of confidence in the company, in the management, in the product, and the manufacturing process, which he has helped set up, which I think is very good news for all of us. All right, well, thanks for watching. Looking forward to your comments below. Thanks as always to our supporting members. and have a great day, everyone.